Alright, can we talk about the game I'm looking most forward to in 2017? And I'll get to that in 1 second. My voice sounds weird today. Kinda got a cold. Someone in my family gave me that, so you gotta love that. They're not getting a Christmas card from me this year. That's for damn sure. Anyways, though, let's talk about Mount and Blade 2. This game, I'm super pumped for, and hopefully it comes out this year. It's actually supposed to come out in Q4 of last year, but that didn't end up happening. That's probably a good thing, though. When you think about it, there was a lot of stuff coming out in that last quarter, and it might have just ended up falling under the radar. And really, a series like Mount and Blade doesn't deserve to do that anymore, because it's one of my favorite games of the last few years. I've loved every single iteration of the game series, everything from the original to Mount and Blade Warband, which improved on the original, over to the mods, over to Napoleonic Wars, and everything in that series is awesome. And if you've never heard of it before, I don't really blame you. It definitely has flown under the radar for a long time. So let me explain to you what Mount and Blade as a series is. It's gonna confuse the hell out of you because there's really no way to properly describe this game unless you actually play it. It's a medieval warfare simulator slash medieval life simulator slash army management game slash army action game thing. Basically, if it was in medieval times, you can do it in this game, and that's what makes it awesome. You create your character, and then you start recruiting different peasants from around the land and put them into your army. It's all in this like top-down map where you go and explore around with your army. You start out by yourself, you get more people. Eventually, you start leveling them up as well. They get new gear, you get new gear, and you start fighting other armies. Now, you might think like, okay, so it's kind of like Total War. That's where you're wrong. Okay, it's kind of like Total War. You can kind of like tell your army what tactics to use and where to go. But when you get into the real battles, you're just a person in those battles. You're fighting as your character in the battles the entire time while everything goes to hell. And it's a janky mess, but it's the best janky mess you'll ever play. So you create your army, and they start out with little scythes and stuff because they're peasants and they suck. You go and take on a few bandits for a while. Eventually, though, they level up, you level up a little bit, you increase your stats, you increase their stats, and you've kind of got like a standing army after a while. Then you realize that you need to go and align yourself with one of the warring factions around the map. And of course, because I'm a fantasy geek, I love the classic fantasy realm of Swadia. That is definitely my faction of choice. Plus, they're always at war because they're in the center of the map. Probably not the best place for them, but still, it makes things really interesting. So you align yourself with one of these factions, or you start your own. Wouldn't recommend that when you start, because you're gonna die instantly. And then you start building your reputation in that faction by taking part in the wars, talking to the other lords, getting to know them, their families. People in the game, the AI will get married, they'll defect to other factions, they will break up, they can be captured. So much stuff is going on all the time, and it kind of makes you feel like you're playing the video game version of Game of Thrones. And I know there's Game of Thrones games already, but ignoring those, because there's none that are half as awesome in Game of Thronesy as Mount and Blade is. Eventually it gets to the point where you have your own standing army, and when, say, the king likes you enough, or whoever the leader of the land is, then you can actually be given different villages that you get tithes from that will give you money, and it becomes like almost a city management style game in a lot of aspects. You can go around and buy different mills and stuff in cities, blacksmithing industries and stuff, gain gold that way to support your own industry. So it becomes what used to be kind of an army simulator game, turns into this almost huge management style game as well. And there's so much crap you can do between the fighting, between the trading, between getting married or defecting to somewhere else, capturing people, selling slaves, doing whatever you want, hiring hero people, going on quests for them. That game has absolutely everything in it, and it sounds awesome, and then you play it. It takes a while to get through all the jankiness in Mount and Blade as a series. That's where the second one comes in. Now, while I'm able to fight through the jankiness of the first game really well, it doesn't excuse the fact that the game is definitely riddled with problems. There are so many in it, Then we get to Mount & Blade 2, and I've seen the gameplay for it, and I've been watching it closely over the last few years. That game looks like they have taken everything that was wrong with the first one, mainly the actual gameplay, feeling like, you know, you were playing with action figures rather than playing a video game itself, and they've tried to smooth it out a little bit. You can see it in the graphical fidelity, the animations, everything's a little bit faster. It looks like people aren't trudging through very deep quicksand when they're walking the entire time, and overall, it looks like a big improvement. Now, I'm not going to say definitively it's going to be like the game of the year or anything, because I haven't played it, and there's only a little bit of gameplay available for it, but everything that I've seen looks like it takes everything from Mount & Blade, adds some stuff onto it, and fixes all of the very slow plotting gameplay that just felt sluggish all the time. And I gotta hand it to Tailworlds, the developer, because there's a lot of companies that will just redo something that they've done in the past, but these guys are taking something, a solid base, building on it. They're taking their time with it too. This game has been delayed, so they're obviously still working and trying to work out everything so that when the game comes out, it can be in a better state beforehand. At least I hope that's what's happening, of course. But when you see a developer that delays something, doesn't even give a release date after the delay, that says, okay, they're obviously trying to work on something. That's good. That's something that we need to see more of in the industry, because people will complain about delays when they happen, but usually they happen because they have to fix something. I'd much rather they take the extra time, as much time as they need, to fix it than get an incomplete product right then and there. So we're going to see how it goes when it releases and when we get some more gameplay. I'm super hopeful for it, though. I think it has potential to be a great and worthy sequel to the plethora of other Mount & Blade titles. I didn't even mention the mod support in this video. Holy crap, the mod support for Mount & Blade is absolutely fantastic. I really want that to carry over as well. There's so much you can do with that series. You know how I mentioned Game of Thrones? There is an entire Game of Thrones mod in the game with different maps and everything. Fantastic. I've actually even tried to get an interview with the developer. They've been completely ignoring me so far, but I'm going to keep pestering them, damn it, because I really like this franchise, and it's something that I am going to goddamn cover. It's gonna happen, trust me. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're as hyped for this game as I am, then let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think it's going to be good? Do you think there are some concerns that we need to note? Then let me know what they are. Of course, don't get your hopes too high. Always go in there with a level playing field, you know. Just go in there with modest expectations. But as a series, I've always been a huge fan, so it's great to see how it's going so far. Let me know your thoughts. I am PattyJack, and I will see you guys next time. Have a wonderful day.